Welcome to this video. We're going to be going over variables and literals today. Okay, what is that? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So to start with, I'm going to close out this simple Java program, and we're going to just come up here to File, Close Project, and we're going to create a new one. So create a new project. Like I said, we don't need to mess with any of this stuff. We're just going to hit Next. Create project from template. Now, I'm not going to do that this time because I'm going to have you guys start writing out the main method yourselves. And we're going to go through creating a class on this program also. So we're just going to hit next. We're going to change the title to this, and we're just going to call it variables and literals. That way, we can kind of differentiate. So variables and literals. We're going to finish. It's going to open up a project. But if we go in here, so all your source code is under, this is your project's main folder. It'll be under source. And as you can see, there's nothing under here. Like, we don't have anything under here. So we're going to create, so if you right click on this, and we're going to hit new, and we're going to create a new Java class, okay? And we're going to just call this class main, which is going to house our main method, okay? And as you can see, there is no main method in here. Well, the main method, as we talked about before, we're going to type out, we're going to say public static void. Then we're going to say main, lowercase, not uppercase. Then we need, since the method, we need to have the parentheses behind it. And in here, we're going to type in string. And this is a array, so we're going to hit the square brackets. And then we're going to type in args, okay, for arguments. Now, it's given us the red squiggly down here. And if you look, it says expecting a open bracket, open curly brace, or it's expecting a semicolon. Well, if we do a semicolon, you get an error, okay? Why does it, why do we get an error? Well, because this is a method, okay? This isn't a statement, it's a method. These are different things. So methods, you need a method body, and that's what it's asking for, missing method body, okay? So if we get rid of that, and we're going to jump down to the next line by hitting enter, and we're going to hit the open curly brace, or the left curly brace. That will open up our code block. Now you see we have no errors. It's all, Java's all happy. So now we have our main method, and like we said before, the main method is where everything starts from, right? You have to have a main method in a Java program. And let's just start by, let's type out system, if I can actually spell it, system.out.println, okay? Or, like I said before, you can just do sout, and that will fill it in automatically for you. And I want you guys, and I want you to follow along with me on this one. We're going to print out, and we're going to print our name to the console, okay? We're just going to have the program print our name to the console. But we want it to say, hello, my name is... And now, if you wanted to print out your name, we could just type in your name, right? Travis. And I'm actually gonna get rid of this one real quick, if I can actually grab it. And this would obviously print your name to the console. So let's do that, okay? Hello, my name is Travis. Well, that's all fine and good. We printed our name to the console, right? That's what we wanted to do. And in a program like this, it's totally fine to do that. But as programs get bigger, one of the big problems we run into is having to basically type out every single thing and it being in a static form, in the sense that it can't change unless we go back and change it again. And if you have to write something out, 35, 40 times, or you need to use the same value or same name or anything like that 30 or 40 times, well, that gets pretty tedious after a while when you need to write it out 30 or 40 times, right? So that's where variables come into. And just like in math, a variable is, it's assigning something a value that can change or it can vary, right? And this will all make sense here in a second. So we want to write our name to the console, right? Well, what is our name? Our name in programming is a string, right? It's a string of characters, versus like a number, which would be an integer. Like a whole number in mathematics is an integer number. Okay, so with this concept in mind, we're going to write our name to the console, but we want to write it in a variable so we can just call that variable wherever we need to. Okay, so to start, we're going to type in string. Okay, and then we're gonna name it something. Well, this is my name, right? You can call it whatever you want. This is the naming convention that you want to use. Now, my suggestion, though, is name it something that makes sense. If you name it something like ABC, it will accept that. You can use that, but it really doesn't give a whole lot of understanding of what it is. So, if we're going to write my name, we're going to write my name. We're going to hit equals because we have to assign it a value, okay? And it's a string also. So all strings, just like when we put them down here, it needs to be in double quotes. So we're going to put it in double quotes and we're going to say Travis, okay? And then it's barking at us because we don't have a semicolon. And this is a statement. This is a variable statement right here. So we're good to go. It's a string, my name, and we put our name in there. Now, let's do something else. Let's put our age in there. Well, our age, it's not a string. It would be an integer, right? It's a whole number. So let's go int, and let's say my age. We're gonna assign it. We don't need the double quotes because it's not a string. And let's say 30, because I'm 30. Okay, so now we have Travis for our name. We have for our age, we're 30. Now, what else could we do? Well, there's another data type. So all these, string, int, these are what's called data types. Well, there's another data type for non-whole numbers. So like 30 is a whole number, correct? 30.5 is not a whole number. It's got part of a number, right? It's a fraction of a number. 0.5, that's a fraction of a whole number. So to do that, we use what's called the double. Say double, and we're going to say my height equals, I'm 6'1". So let's say 6.1, okay? So as you can see, we have string, which is a string of characters. We have integer, or an int, which is an integer or a whole number. And we have double, which is a non-whole number, so a fraction of a number or a decimal. A very easy way to think of this is if it's got a decimal point in it, so if it's $1.50, that's got a decimal in it, that's going to be a double, okay? It's not going to be an integer because it's not a whole number. Now, there's other data types that you're going to use and that Java has. There's actually 8 in total, but these are the ones you're going to use the most. Until we get into stuff where you're trying to save memory space or you're trying to use very large numbers, these are the ones that are kind of your general purpose variable types or data types. So let's look at this real quick, and let's print out my name. Okay, so how would you print out my name? Well, in here, if we get rid of all this, okay, and let's just type in my name, okay, it's going to autofill it for us. And if we hit run, it says Travis down here, right? So it printed out this variable by just calling it by its name, my name. Okay, so it printed out Travis. Now, let's say I wanted to say something along the lines of my name is, and then print out my name. Okay, so we know if we want to print something out like that, we need to put in double quotes, and we need to say my name is. But we're getting an error right here, right? So what's wrong with this? Well, the problem is it's looking for a statement to end. It doesn't know why you've put this variable here. Well, what we can do is we can do something called concatenation, okay? And what that is we're using the plus sign, okay? And that's adding it to the string, okay? So now if we run this, it says my name is Travis, okay? So we're using this variable. And the reason, like I said before, we would want to do something along this line is, well, my name's probably not going to change, but let's say this is for 10 different people and the next person's name is Mike. Well, if I just go up here and change it to Mike up here in the variable and run it again, well, now my name is Mike, okay? And I didn't have to come down here and try finding where this was. So if this was in a lot, one line out of 5,000 lines of code, it's a lot easier to be able to change it in one spot and have it change and update all the code accordingly. So I'm going to change that back to Travis. And let's say we can run it again and we can see that my name is Travis. Okay, yeah, that works. So now let's say we want to use the same print line statement. Well, we also want to put my age and my height in there. Okay? So how do we do that? So let's say my name is Travis. We're going to do another concatenation symbol or plus sign. We're going to use the double quotes again because we're putting a string in there, right? We're writing out some more characters to the console. So we're going to say, my name is Travis. And I'm going to say, I'm my age. And then we're going to say years old. And one other thing you can do with this is if you want to use the plus sign, you can hit plus and then you can go down to the next line and type things out here. This is totally fine as long as the statement still ends with your parenthesis and your semicolon. Java doesn't care. As long as you use the plus sign, you can jump down to the next line. You can jump down 10 lines. It doesn't care at all. And then we're going to say I'm, and then we're going to do another one. We're going to put in my height. Oops. And then we're going to say I'm 6 6.1 feet tall. Okay? So, like I said before, you can totally put that up on the one line, or you can come down here and let's say you wanted to break that out there and you wanted this one on the next line down like this. It's not really going to matter one way or the other. It's going to print out, my name is Travis. I'm 30 years old. I'm 6.1 feet tall. Excuse me. And like I said, we can do this again and bring these oops, cancel that, sorry. So we can bring that up on the same line, run it again. We're going to get the same exact printout. It doesn't matter. But as you can see is, so now let's say I'm 85 years old, and I've gotten shorter over the years because I'm 85. So now let's say I'm 5'5" now. Okay, name's still Travis, but maybe I go by Old Travis. Okay, because I'm 85 now. So now if we run it, now we changed 3 things here. Now it says, my name is Old Travis. I'm 85 years old, and I'm 5'5" feet tall. I'm 5.5 feet tall. Okay. So as you can see, variables can be very, very helpful. Very, very helpful in pretty much every program you're going to write is going to have variables in it. This is a core concept of programming in general, not just Java, but every programming language. There's certain things that all programming languages have in common, and variables is definitely one of them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video, we're going to be going over more information on variables, and we're going to be going on primitive data types and things of that nature. We're going to be going over the data types in more detail. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.